Hey everybody, it is Nathan and Blake with another Top 5 video. Today it is the top 5 questions that you should stop asking service dog partners. Please. A few quick things to note before we get started. This is not targeted towards businesses, and this is not a legal argument or anything like that. This is just about things that would be more courteous if you did not ask them. Also, to be perfectly clear, this is not a video intended to shame. If you have ever asked any of these questions, I'm not trying to tell you that you're a horrible person and you're bad and you're evil and all of that stuff. I'm just trying to ask that maybe in the future, don't. Coming up at number 5, and this is at the bottom of our list because there's a major caveat to it. How can I train my dog to be a service dog? Now, the reason why there's a major caveat to this is that it's not necessarily an inappropriate question in every situation. If you are legitimately curious about how you can train your dog into becoming a service dog, then by all means ask about it. But this should be after a lot of thought has been put into it. It shouldn't be just a off-the-cuff, oh, I see a service dog, maybe I should make my dog one. It should be a, I have done lots of research on this, I have thought about this for a long time, I have looked at several different organizations, several different training programs, and I am planning on starting this process. Although at that point, you're probably better off looking for your answers on the internet than some random person with a service dog who you happen to see pass by. Coming up at number 4. What happens when your service dog dies? Yes, I do get that question quite often, and we don't really want to think about that. I mean, I don't want to be in a grocery store buying Ben & Jerry's pistachio flavored ice cream, which is the best ice cream in the world, and suddenly have some person hoist the question of, hey, this animal that is with you every second of the day, that you are bonded to, that is your best friend, what's going to happen when they die? It'll be horrible. It'll probably be one of the worst days of my life. And I'd rather not think about that right now. And also, what often happens is that the service dog ends up retiring before they pass away, and if the person needs another service dog, they end up getting a successor dog. Number 3. What is your disability? Now, it's illegal for businesses to ask that question, but for average people, it is just plain nosy. I am very open about my disability. I have a YouTube channel in which I talk about it, and if people want to be open with their disability, that is okay. They should be allowed to be open about their disability. But I give you that information and I talk about my disability because that is my choice. You cannot demand that from me. I do not owe that to anybody. Now, I'm a little bit more forgiving when a little kid does it because kids are naturally curious and it usually feels like it comes from a place of genuine curiosity. Also, there's the fact that kids are often not raised to think of disability as stigmatized yet. But for everyone else, you're not entitled to that information. So just don't. And the number 2 question that you should stop asking a service dog team is, where can I get a vest like that? So this question is bad for 2 reasons. 1, it basically tells the person that you think their service dog is fake, and 2, it says that that's okay and you want in on the action. Now, of course, there are exceptions for legitimate self-trained service dogs, but I actually have had people come up to me and basically say that, oh, it's so funny and great that you have that vest on your dog and that means you can take them out everywhere. Hey, I want to get one of those for my dog so I can take him with me. The service dog vest is not a, I can take my pet anywhere with me pass. It is a legitimate demonstration that the dog is working and should be left alone. And finally, the number 1 question that you should stop asking service dog teams is your dog in training? This one probably comes as no surprise to longtime viewers of the channel. Now, the reason why this is at the top of the list is not because it is more immoral than the rest. It is because it is more common than all the rest. I once got this question 5 times in one outing, and I was out for a half hour. Now, there are several things that this question implies that makes it a problematic question. First off, it implies that you don't think that the dog is fully trained yet, which kind of paranoias me as a service dog handler because I start to wonder, did my dog do something that made you think that she wasn't fully trained? Also, it kind of delegitimizes invisible disabilities. I understand that you probably don't want to immediately assume that I have a disability, but sometimes it can be just as bad to immediately assume that I don't. When you see a service dog in public, it's probably best to just ignore it, let the person go about their business. If you really want to ask any question at all, keep it simple and non-nosy and non-specific. Like, is that your buddy? A question like that leaves the ball in their court. If they want to expand upon it, if they want to start a conversation about it, then they can. If they don't want to, they can just be like, yeah, that's my buddy. That way we can disclose as much or as little as we want to, and we don't feel pressured into it. Again, this video is not meant to shame. If you have ever asked any of these questions, then I don't want you to feel bad about it. I just want you to be aware of it. That's my list. Was there anything on this list that you don't think should have been on there? Or do you think there were some things that you think it was missing? Leave a comment down below and let me know. In the meantime, that's today's video. Thank you all for watching. If you liked this video, give it a like, a share, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Check out some of my other stuff, and we will see you next week.